Instead of aiming to be perfect, embrace the progress and personal growth, okay? Recognize that mistakes and setbacks are part of the fucking journey. You guys, we're gonna have setbacks. Things are gonna happen that are not gonna be in our favor, but they are gonna happen because they're gonna teach us something that's gonna be fucking amazing, and we're gonna learn from it one day, and we're gonna look back and be like, damn, that's why that happened. I see you working, God. Let's talk about something that I think a lot of us can definitely relate to, and that is silencing the voice inside your head that says you are not good enough. But more than just silencing it, we're not going to suppress it. We're not going to push it to the side and tell that bitch to go away. We're going to just ignore her. We are going to actually make her your friend. Gasp. What? How? Impossible. No, we cannot do this. Trust me, it's possible. It's possible. We're going to do it today. We're going to do it. Okay, friend? Because you can make that voice that is in your brain, that is in your mind, that is in your mind, not your brain, your mind, that is like, excuse me, you're not good enough, you're too fat, you're too ugly, you're not pretty enough, you don't have this hair, you're not just smart enough, you're not gonna make it, you can't do that, you can't go for that job, you can't do that run, oh my god, no way. Like that little bitch in your brain, we're gonna befriend her. Yeah I don't know what the fuck I'm on today. I'm sorry, but welcome to my inner thoughts just seeping out. Today it's going to be, I'm like batch recording today. Today is going to be all my intrusive thoughts just coming out. So I do apologize in advance, but welcome. So yeah, our topic today is how to silence the voice that says you're not enough and how to make her your best friend. Let's do it. So I've essentially written out 5 things that have worked for me. I've got my lappy toppy here. So I've essentially written out 5 things that have worked for me when it comes to befriending my inner critic. So let me just preface this by saying this. When I tell you guys, some of you might be like watching this for the first time. If so, hi, come on over. And if you're not, welcome back, bitch. But you might be asking, like, what makes her qualified to talk about this? First of all, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a therapist, I'm not anything. I'm not an ist. I'm just little old me with a mic. Don't know who the fuck gave me a mic. Psych, I bought it myself from Amazon. But I can tell you that I'm qualified to talk about this specific topic because I used to have the most, and I mean the most, I would challenge anyone, the most degrading inner critic. That inner dialogue, that conversation that was going on in my brain was disgusting. Like, I would fight someone if they spoke to me the way that I used to speak to myself. Like, I would, like, on site kind of physically fight someone if they spoke to me, not just the words that I was saying, but like the tonality and everything, like the way that I was horrible to myself. To everyone else, I'd be like, you're amazing, and you're a star, and you're a princess, and you can fucking fart gold, okay? And then I would look at myself and be like, you're disgusting, you make me sick, you're a whore, you are a pig, and it'd be worse than that, but I don't want to get banned. So that's what qualifies me to talk about this, and I am passionate about it, if you can't tell, because it's taken me a long, and it's still a work in progress. I won't lie to you guys, it's still a work in progress, but it is nowhere near as horrible as it used to be. And I would say that my bounce back rate, my rate to catch it, bin it, kill it, has grown exponentially in the past couple of years. So we're just going to dive straight in. We're not going to fucking chit chat anymore. Okay, first thing you're going to do is acknowledge that bitch. You're going to acknowledge the voice without judgment. Okay, Nalita, what do you mean by that? You're just basically going to just be like, okay, I hear what you're saying, I see you, I recognize you, I am acknowledging your presence. And I found that when I don't acknowledge that voice, when I just basically was like, oh gosh, no, stop talking, stop saying things, please, it would just get louder and more aggressive. And it's almost like when God sends you a sign, he keeps sending you the exact same sign, the exact same lesson over and over and over and over and over again until you actually acknowledge that it's there. And then he's like, oh, she's learning now, finally, right, we can give her the next one. Okay, so same thing, like that critic in your brain is just going to keep badgering you, keep talking about you, get louder, get more aggressive, get more derogative when you ignore it. So the first thing you're going to do is just acknowledge it. But we're not going to acknowledge it and be like, what the fuck do you want? Leave me alone. It's going to be like, I see you, I recognize you, and I actually love and appreciate that you've shown up. Here's why. Sometimes what I have personally found is that voice is more of a reflection of the expectation that you've set for yourself. So for me, I had set such, and I've made a video on perfectionism as well, I have made such I have created this idea in my brain that everything I did had to be perfect, and if it wasn't perfect, I am a failure. I was failing, I was letting other people down, even if they didn't know what I was doing. I was letting them down subconsciously. I was letting myself down, I was letting my family down, everyone hated me, and it would grow and it would just become a whole fucking thing. You just want to acknowledge that voice without the judgment. You just want to be like, look, I recognize that you've shown up right now, and I appreciate that you've shown up because you care for me. You're here because you want to remind me of our goal. You want to remind me of who we are as an individual, I can't fucking talk anymore. You just want to basically acknowledge it without any judgment. You want to just welcome it in and be like, you know what? Come in, my dear. Come over here. Let's have a conversation. And then once you've got that bitch hook, line and sinkered, you're going to go ahead and you're going to challenge the message. Okay, that's the next thing you're going to do. Okay, so when that voice tells you that you're not enough, you're going to just pause and be like, but who said that? Right? So when that voice says, you know what, you can't go to the gym today because all the effort that you're putting in, you're not seeing any results, and it doesn't make a difference, so just don't go. You're going to be like, okay, but why would I not go? Okay, so you're going to accept coming in. I see you. There's a fear here. There's a concern here. Are you concerned for my health? Are you concerned that I'm going to be let down in a couple of days if I don't see the results that I want? What is it that why are you here? Okay, so you're basically just you're welcoming it in. It feels like you're babying yourself, but you kind of are, because I think everyone needs to parent themselves right now because the world is going haywire. So you're going to just welcome her in. I see you. Come on in. Okay. And then she's like, okay, so I don't want to go to the gym because I'm not getting the results that I wanted. Okay. I recognize that, but don't you feel like we have to keep going in order to see the results? Okay, challenge the message. Don't you feel like that's not true? That's not true. If we keep going, we're going to get the results that we want. If we keep pushing, we're going to be so proud of ourselves. We're going to feel so good. What about the mental benefits that we're getting, not just the physical ones? Like, start coaxing her. Start talking to her. Actually, give her a fucking name. That really helped me. Give her a name, okay? Mine's called Karen. You know why. You know exactly why she's called Karen. So give her a name and just talk to her like, Karen, why do you feel... And also I will say this, it's really helped me differentiate between myself and someone else, like Karen. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like in my brain I've said to myself, I get it, like I might have thoughts, but maybe these thoughts aren't my own. Maybe these thoughts came from my teacher back in school. Maybe these thoughts came from my parents. Maybe it came from my grandparents or a friend or a colleague. Maybe these aren't my thoughts. So it's almost like I'm putting a barrier between myself and the idea that is coming into my brain, the thought that is coming into my brain, the negative attack that is coming into my brain. So it is easy to give it a name. So give her a name, Karen. You can take that if you want. You're welcome. So you're going to challenge the message. The third thing you're going to do is shift your focus to growth, not perfection. So you don't want to then be like, okay, so right, I've welcomed her in. She's in the ash. She's grabbing a seat. We're having a conversation and I'm challenging her thoughts, but I just need her to now to be perfect. I need to shape her into the perfect little bubble, the perfect little angel. And if I don't do that, then I'm a piece of shit. But for now, she needs to be amazing, and she needs to be so kind and sweet and loving, and that's just not fucking realistic. Okay, like, you're gonna have negative thoughts. The whole purpose of befriending your negative thoughts are not so that you never have a negative thought in your life again, because that's not actually going to happen. What you want to do is be able to, like I said before, decrease the bounce back rate. Okay, you want it to be like, it might be for you right now at 0% your bounce back rate. Okay, so your thoughts basically spiral, and they spiral and they spiral and spiral, and 2 days later you're still thinking about the thing that you did 2 days ago, and the thought that you had 2 days ago, even though no one else knows that you thought it, but whatever. I would say mine is at like 95% right now. Like, I can catch a thought and be like, is that a nice thing to say to yourself? It happens just like this. Okay, so that's the goal. The goal is to get the bounce back rate, I don't know how loud that is in the mic, sorry. The goal is to get the bounce back rate increased. Okay, we want to increase that number. We want to get you to 100%. Not so that you never have a negative thought, so that you can catch it, bin it, kill it quickly. Okay, so you're going to shift your focus to growth and not to perfectionism. And the note that I've written here is, instead of aiming to be perfect, embrace the progress and personal growth. Okay, recognize that mistakes and setbacks are part of the fucking journey. You guys, we're gonna have setbacks. Things are going to happen that are not going to be in our favor, but they are going to happen because they're going to teach us something that's going to be fucking amazing, and we're going to learn from it one day, and we're going to look back and be like, damn, that's why that happened. I see you working, God. Okay, the next part is cultivate self-compassion. There are so many of us in this world that are just, you're just lacking self-compassion. Like, some of you guys are just so fucking horrible to yourselves. There's no compassion. You have compassion for the Susan next door, but you have zero compassion for yourself. How do we get there? Okay, treat yourself as you would a friend. This is what I've written. When the inner critic speaks, respond with kindness and patience. Give yourself the same compassion that you would offer to someone else that is facing similar challenges. I'll leave that there. And then the fifth thing is to use the voice as motivation. Okay, so what can I learn from this? Right, so when that thought comes up and it says to you, look, do you know what, I don't even think we should be going to the gym anymore. I can't talk anymore, guys. My voice is a rap. My brain's like when that thought comes up and it's like, we should not be doing this anymore. Like, why are we even here? Why are we going to the gym? What is the point of us trying to become a better version of ourselves? Let's just stop. This is a fucking piece of shit. Forget this. Okay, you're gonna say, okay, so what can I learn from this voice right now? What can I learn from the thought that's coming up? I can learn that maybe there is fear that this is not going to work out in my favor. Maybe there's fear that I'll be publicly embarrassed. Maybe there is fear, or maybe there is shame around me even trying something different than what my culture deems acceptable. Maybe there is, I don't know, fill in the blank for yourself. There is something, maybe there is whatever you said, wrong with it. Okay, that is the reason that I'm stopping myself from going out and doing the thing. That is the reason that this voice is coming into my head. That is the reason that this critic is so fucking loud right now, is because I am scared of X. I am fearful of X. I am embarrassed by X. I am, whatever it is. So what can you learn about yourself when that voice comes up? And make it a game. You guys, let me just close my laptop for this. Let me just get real serious with you for a second. One thing that I have taken from 2024 is that life isn't that fucking deep. Like, we don't have to be living this life, and maybe this is just a millennial thing, but we don't it's not that deep, guys. Like, I've got my blankie here and everything. Just get all cozy. It's not that deep. It really, really isn't. Like, yes, there are things that have happened. I've had my own fucking traumatic experiences that will probably follow me for the rest of my life, but it's like, it's just not that deep. And I've started to almost make life a game for myself. Like, what can I do that will excite me more? What can I do that will make my life feel a little bit better? What can I do that will make me happy? What can I do that will blah, blah, blah? Like, there are, it's not that deep. And you fucking got this, okay? You got this. You got this, bitch. Okay? Like, life is so fucking amazing. Life is beautiful. Today was snowing in London, and I was just at first I was like, oh, I have this thing, right, when it snows, that I like to put my hand out and feel the snow on my hand and like see if I can catch it and then like lick it, or if my hands are clean, or like stick my tongue out and just like catch snowflakes on my tongue like a child. And when I went to do that, when I was on like the main high street, I was literally like, oh my god, people are going to be looking at me like I'm an absolute idiot. And then I said to myself, yeah, but it's a game, and if it was a game, people wouldn't actually care about you. They'd be cracking on with their own thing, wouldn't they, like GTA. So I was like, do you know what, I'm gonna risk it for a chocolate biscuit, fuck it. And I sat there with my walking down the street with my face up, my tongue out, and I'm like put my hand in the air trying to catch snowflakes. And the thing is, people were passing me and they were laughing and they were doing the same thing, and I was like, look at God, look how good life is. Like, people had their cameras out and they were recording and they were laughing. And bear in mind, London's quite a miserable place, by the way. We're all fucking miserable people over here, but it was like the one moment where I saw all these people just having so much joy, and it wasn't summertime, and I was like, wow, this is strange, but it's so beautiful. Life isn't that deep. Yes, things will always happen. Yes, things will happen and it's not really what you wanted it to do, or things will happen that you need, not what you wanted, or things will go in left when you wanted it to go right, or whatever else. But like, when you take a step back and acknowledge how blessed you are, how amazing things are for you, like, if you're watching this right now, you're a blessed person. My guess is you're either watching it on a phone, a smartphone of some sort, right? Amen that you can afford that. Or you're watching it on a laptop. Again, amen that you can afford that. Because if you've got a laptop, you've definitely got a fucking phone. So now you got both. Look at you, privileged bitch. Okay? So let's stop acting like shit's just always bad. It's not. It's not. Can it be? Yes. Can we have moments where life's just not what we want? Abso-fucking-lutely. Been there many times. I'm not going to sit here and be like dismissing that. Of course. But that's not your everyday experience. And if it is, maybe it's time that you start changing something. And I'm going to leave it there because that's a whole other video. Besitos.